Alright, hello everybody. This is going to be the first video in a potential series of some suggestions for Ride to Improve League. Some of these are serious, some of these aren't, but hopefully the ones that aren't are entertaining. Well, actually, none of these are serious, but you know what? They might inspire some change somewhere, or if I ever call something in the future, then well, maybe I could call myself a prophet for it. So this is basically um, things that would make some top laners happier. I want to include some because not every top laner is alike and likes the same things and appreciates the same things about the game, just like not every player is the same. So my first suggestion is add bouncers. Now, what do I mean? What do I mean by adding bouncers to the game? Well, essentially just like you would have in a club. So this is top lane over here. Say this is the river. Only for top lane, you would have some gentlemen blocking the entrance to the top lane. Probably have some over here at the entrance near the turret. Near both turrets, and basically they would verify if whoever was entering is cool. If they were, if they don't have any fake IDs or just general things that would jeopardize the safety of their team's top laner. And if they don't, go right on ahead and feed them double buffs if you're the jungler, or I don't know, let the enemy mid grab all the plates they can while the roam fails. But if they're too strong, then go back to lane where you came from. So that's idea number one. I do think it would make the top lane experience a lot happier for the people that typically get camped, because they would have a break from that, especially with roams and all of that type of stuff. But the bouncers wouldn't work all the time, so you know maybe they'd let someone in that has a really convincing fake ID. So that'd be something to iron out on Riot's end. Another one. This one is before the game actually starts, but it's letting top or no, okay, so lane top laners ban after they pick champ. So this one's pretty self-explanatory, but move it up a bit. This one is pretty self-explanatory, but this is just a little fun thing where if you play top and you get to, well, ban a champion after you lock in. I don't know how useful this can be, but it, if you're not sure on who you pick and you want to ban a counter to it, then go right ahead. It gives some people more time to see if there's a streamer on the enemy team to ghost them and ban out their one tricks, um, which isn't necessarily the best thing, but you know what? It could help some people, which would also segue into the next point, which is letting top laners ban 3 champions. Now, this seems like it would require losing bans in other areas of the game, but adding 3 bans for top definitely would, or adding 2 bans for top definitely would improve the quality of top laners' time playing the game. I know, I don't necessarily main top, but I would play the game a lot more if I had 2 more, or I would play top a lot more if I had 2 more bans, because holy shit, for every champ, there's like 5 champs that are unplayable to play against, and it's kind of rough. I never feel like 1 ban is enough for top lane, so maybe that'll come in. Maybe that'll come in on on season 12 or 13 or a mid-season patch, something like that, where if you're specifically top lane, then you get 3 bans, and that's really it. The next one is a little creative. It definitely restricts the creativity of the game, but I think it's a welcome change. So no range champs top. It's a very simple suggestion, but I think a very powerful one that a lot of people would get on board with. Um, fuck. Okay. So basically, there could be some kind of force field that, or some kind of bubble that starts here, goes all the way around here, and well, the entrance is only for melee champions. Now, this not only spices up the lane because you don't have to deal with ranged champions, but if Scuttle Crab happens to wander inside the bubble, ranged junglers can't get to it, which would be pretty funny. And well, melee junglers would have the advantage there, which is not necessarily a problem. There are a lot of really great melee junglers. Most great junglers are melee, but still would be pretty funny. And also, ADC's team fighting. Melees could just escape in the alcoves, and ranged champions could not, no rotations, none of that textbook stuff where they kill bot tower, go top, kill top tower. That would not exist anymore, which is actually kind of hype as well. So this is like a solution to many problems, not only the ranged top laner problem. Um, Number 5 is definitely okay. So basically, it's kind of like Callista ult, but I'll just call it the jungler button. It's basically like Callista ult, where you bind with your jungler, and no matter where they are on the map, if you as a top laner are getting dove or are diving someone, you pull the jungler in from, could be anywhere on the map. You pull them in, and they actually help you. So I could see many uses with this. I could see top laners having a great time with it. The only problems I could see are if the jungler is doing something on the other side of the map, or if they're in the middle of clearing camps. But let's face it, most junglers, if you were to pull them from whatever they were doing, you wouldn't be interrupting anything. So I feel like a jungler button where you can pull them out of watching Netflix and make them actually help you, then that would be a welcome thing, especially for top laners because they're prone to getting dove and wanting to dive people. Um, this one's another button, but we'll call it the Baron Vortex. And well, basically the Baron Vortex is if you're split pushing, say you're say you're playing on the bot side a little bit, you're pushed up over here to their tier 2 bot side, and they send 3 enemies at you. They're closing in on you. You press the button, and say a black hole of sorts appears at the Baron pit, and will take out the arrows, and it sucks in all of your teammates directly to the Baron. Um, this has many uses. It also could work for Rift Heralds, but split pushing and your team not doing Baron is, I feel, the biggest problem. But I mean, it's just really a flawless solution for macro play. I mean, it would even be faster if to just press the button to get to Baron faster, not even if you're split pushing. So I think a Baron button sucking all the people on your team into the Baron pit is a spicy solution, even better than plants, which, I mean, love them or hate them, they're kind of here. So I think Baron Vortex would make a lot bigger splash. Now this one is only for few miscreant top laners, but I feel like it could could be welcome for the more nefarious top laners. But it's basically a league message, but for underage females. Um, you know who I'm talking about with this, or at least what type of top laner I'm talking about that for this. Actually, I'm gonna retype it. I'll just abbreviate it for underage. You know what? To take up less space, we'll do. That's how you do it, right? Lesser than. Crocodile wants to eat. He doesn't want to eat 18 because 18 is. He wants to eat. No, he wants to eat 18 because 18 is bigger. That's how I learned it, anyways. Whatever. Females. So you know that type, and well, it's also pretty self-explanatory. It's a League of Legends messaging service where you can seek out underage females, and I personally wouldn't use it, but there are some in the community that would, and that would make them happy. Not saying this should happen. I'm just saying, as it says right here, things that would make some top laners happier. I'm not labeling all top laners, just some. Back to gameplay. Um, so we'll call this one something to do with trinkets. We'll ward or lingering ward vision. So this one would be pretty useful. Basically, if a jungler gets spotted on a top laner's ward, it's kind of like Scryer's Bloom, where they would have lingering vision on them. So it's not like jungler could just go into your lane, clear the ward, and then just literally walk back and kill you. So that would make it so that don't have as hard a time getting camped by the enemy jungler. It's easier to know where he is. It's easier to feel safer in the lane. Just I feel like that could help everybody. Um, Maybe a different type of ward at some point where that does that, where it has a smaller vision, but it'll track you for a little bit. That's one of the more serious suggestions I could actually see being implemented. Definitely don't see them implementing the league message suggestion, but the ward one, I can kind of see that. Um, let's see. Also, there is one of the more obvious ones. This would make top laners happier. Would be dragon swapping with Herald. Um, Herald kind of fucking sucks. I mean, the first one's pretty good, but most people just want the dragons. So dragon swapping with Herald seems kind of like a no-brainer if top laners actually want to have an impactful role and want to be played around. Obviously, that's at the cost of bot lane, but let's face it, bot lane has two potential kills, so they'll always be a juicy target for roams and junglers. So we'll give top lane a chance to be the star of this show. And oh, this is a good one for all the bruiser players. This one will be the last one and probably the most welcome one. After being CC'd, okay, well, we'll call it CC immunity after. I don't necessarily know how to phrase it briefly, but basically you gain CC immunity after you've been CC'd for, let's say, 1.5 seconds. You gain CC immunity until leaving combat. So, this stops all the just lockdown Fiora. Well, I guess I don't really want to cater towards Fiora players or Darius players, because those really would be in my 3 bans if I got 3 bans as a top laner. But Let's see. Let's think of something else. Oh yeah. Auto freezing minions. Now this one seems a little broken in pro play, but basically minion AI that would automatically freeze waves and would automatically break freeze for the enemy. And it just seemed like a back and forth ping pong match between both people auto breaking freezes and shit, but I mean it would make for a different dimension in the game where people would just be controlling minion aggro and now I think that'd be pretty fun. And if the enemy's autopiloting and doesn't, or didn't set a hotkey for the auto freeze break minion button, then well, they're kind of screwed. So yeah, it's pretty much the last suggestion for things that would make some top laners happier. Again, must enforce that it would make some top laners happier, and not all top laners would like all these changes. There are some people that play Lulu top and don't want to be played towards, like the dragon swapping with Herald thing, so that they can just sit and play Lulu top and collect their LP. Um, there are some people that like to play ranged tops. I am one of those people, so, but I mean, I wouldn't mind having no ranged top or no ranged champs top, but still, either way, I digress. Thank you for watching if you made it all the way through, and if you could, I would really appreciate. I don't want to show too much on my first video, but if you could, I would appreciate you to subscribe, like, and probably have my Twitter link or something in the description. I'll try and make more videos like this if you guys like them. And anyways, see ya and have a good night or day.